Talk to me about playing ball with a young Will Compton at Nebraska.
I mean, there's a little bit of a blur. He didn't get a lot of playing time when I was there.
No doubt.
But he definitely came. I would say hard worker, definitely was out there, special teams, riling up the troops, running down the field full speed. But when he was playing, I'll give him credit. He was loud and he made himself known, which I respect. Yeah. And that's what I asked from every single linebacker that I play with. You have to be dominant. Even if you make the wrong call, well, guess what? It doesn't matter what defense we're in. Just call a defense, let's go, and we're just going to wreak havoc because I don't care what calls y'all got on offense. If I'm running up through the middle of it, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So
if you're running up through the middle of it, you can't
being loud and
anything.
demonstrative was like a learning curve. My freshman
it
year,
takes confidence.
You're in the huddle.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It takes confidence. If you remember too, like there was always a dust up with Real Deal. Phil Dill.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the doghouse for a little bit. There was like a weird musical chairs going on. So as a freshman too, like there's a sense of like, you just don't have that confidence. Like, man, like you got
you
the
just didn't know
senior
where
that's
you could
operating.
fit in.
Right.
Like, because Phil's ahead of me. We came in this is like
he's
best
part of the
class
cloth too
of Nebraska
guys,
that came in the last 10 years.
Right.
We all come together. Then there's this young group that comes behind us. Will,
Sean Fisher.
Yeah, Sean Fisher, all these young guys that are coming on. And they actually can play. So they're like biting at the heels. Like, we're about to get on this field. And especially, it's not just special teams. So also seeing that, like, there's also that competition versus it saying, nah, this can be additive. We can come in special packages and do these different things because Will could run. So he could do different things and whatnot.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
That is the first time someone sat on this podcast and said that without laughing. No, a shot. It's like,
you
people forget that Will actually had a little something to him. Yeah.
So, but you're right though. And then you have the competitive dynamic, and again, just being young. It was and we were part of you guys were dominant as hell on the D line. You're looking around and you got Suh, you got Steinkooler, Barry Turner, Crick, you got all these hosses like in the huddle. I remember one time too, like I was telling a story not too long ago, but that Big 12 championship game, like the couple snaps I did get in, we had them backed up on the goal line. We were trying to get a safety in. One time, I think I called like Miami or something like that. And Suh like turns back at me. He's like, "Hey, I'm going the A gap. You go the B." And I'm just sitting like, "Oh, okay."
see, what people don't know, Coach Carl was the best. Like, so the year before my senior year, or my last year in Nebraska, Coach Carl and I sat down in his office like for like almost 2 weeks. He broke down every single piece of the playbook to me. And I told him, all right, Coach, I know where guys fit and how things work now. I'm going to start cheating, like crazy cheating. He's like, all right, cool. You can do that, but I'm going to dog cuss you out in front of everybody if you don't make a play. It's like, bet. That was our inside rule of like, hey man, you can do whatever you want to, but if you make a mistake and you don't make a play, I'm going to dog cuss you out in front of everybody. So I would just, Will, take my spot, I'm taking yours. And I'd just be able to make plays. That's how, like, in the Missouri game, I got the interception. I just dropped back. I felt something, so I could just play with my instincts, but I knew I could have guys cover up for me, knowing where things were at. So
the game where the lights went out at halftime.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their phones out. All the lights went out in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah.
And everybody just got their flashlights on their phone as we're trying to make adjustments and get snacks and everything else. It was a wild game. And Suh did have one of his, how many picks did you have that year?
I think I only had 2 that year. Yeah.
The Colorado game.
Yeah, Colorado.
Remember V-Tech when Bo was losing his mind on you, saying like, get him out, Carl. Carl's like, I need him.
For sure. They definitely went at each other, for sure. And I definitely put Carl in some bad situations because I was trying to go make plays.
You guys were bringing in that Big 12 championship game, you versus Texas. That's the game there was 1 second left. They put 1 second left back on the clock.
They put 1 second back. Yeah. 1 second back on the clock.
What can you break that down for me a little bit? What happened? Will talked about it a little bit, but I want to hear it from you.
They weren't allowed to do that back then, by the way. Yep. We were everybody knew we were on our way out. We were going to be out like either after that year or the next year, going to the Big Ten, and we feel like there was some. Yeah. I personally feel like there was some Illuminati higher ups.
Oh, you think something's going down?
We can't let the Huskers.
Some of that oil money.
We can't let the Huskers
coming upstairs
take the Big 12
we can't do that.
Say we're going to the Big Ten now.
Shit.
Yeah, but it was crazy though because I mean I had the most excitement in that game. Again, we had everything we knew about what Texas wanted to do. The O-line was dog dog water.
Yeah.
Straight dog
shit.
water. And I knew we could dominate against them. It was just a matter of us, can our offense put up some points?
Mm-hmm.
And defense was like, hey, man, we might have to score ourselves a couple times. But going back to that play in that last second, I am like on my horse as hard and as fast as I can as Colt McCoy is rolling out. And I'm trying to make sure that he is obliterated into the stands. And I think I almost hit him into Bo. And I know that in the back of my head, the clock is like super, super low. I can't let him get a clean throw off because he's going to find somebody downfield. And I know they're trying to get this field goal and whatnot. And I turn around and I hop up and I look at the scoreboard. It's 0. We are champions.
We storm. Well, we're
Like-
sprinting on the field.
Everybody's elated, like crazy excitement. Then all of a sudden, Bo starts spazzing out. Like, what do you mean there's a second left on the clock? All these different things. And it's like, all right, man, calm down. They still got to make this joint. And it's like 50 yards. So like, hey, man, we're going to line up and we're trying to run through these guys' faces and block this kick. But we couldn't get there. And for whatever reason, they felt like they deserved a second on the clock. But it is what it is.
It was brutal. I'm jumping. Me and Zoe Whaley, we're jumping up and down. We win the Big 12.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And you were feasting on that offensive line?
Man, it was.
Pierre Allen, he's
It wasn't
going
fun.
off in the locker room after the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine that
Young
press
Pete,
conference
man,
with
I
Bo
just saw him
after.
the other day when I was in Nebraska.
real?
Yeah, he's doing well.
What is your relationship like with Nebraska now? Because I know when we went there before all the renovations, it was the Ndamukong Suh weight room.
House
Yep.
of Spears.
How involved are you with the program?
I would say I'm not that involved. I just met Rule a couple times. What I did appreciate, he called me right when he got the job, which was super nice. We're connected because of some people in Temple and whatnot. And I think he's the right coach for the organization. I'd say this, I'd love to be more involved. I'm behind the scenes supportive of family, especially the quarterback and Dom Raiola being my big brother at Nebraska, or not at Nebraska, in Detroit, and him taking care of me there. So obviously want to see the success of his son and Dylan, as well as a young one coming after him. So ultimately, I think they've got the right structure. It's going to be recruiting, of course, which NIL is absolutely crazy, as we all know now. So it'll be interesting, man. I want to be able to have bragging rights. So hopefully they can turn around the tide and see what happens. I still got the weight room. I took my kids back. I was just inducted in the Nebraska Hall of Fame, which was nice.
Let's go with that. Applause on that one, boy.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see how things kind of evolve now that I'm retired. But shit, I'm more busy now than I was when I wasn't playing. So
yeah,
we'll
just
see.
the short time we were talking to each other before we got on the bus, you're showing those emails and all that stuff. Like you are motoring. What about Nebraska was like this? I'm assuming you were a massive recruit. Were you a 4 or 5-star guy?
I was a 4-star guy. I wasn't coined. So you talk about having to play on both offense and defense. It's crazy. I went to the U.S. Army All-American game, and there was the top 5 defensive tackles there, and I was a 6. And they were like, there's not really a lot of room, and we have some injuries on offense. Can you go play offense? I was like, I don't care. I'll block these dudes. So I played most of the time actually during that game on the offensive line. So
No shit. How'd you like it?
it was cool. I mean, I held my own. So
Do you think you could have made it if you played offensive line?
Oh, no question. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. I joked all the time, especially in Tampa. And there's been some other coaches like Coach Stout that's up in Philly. I was like, hey, man, when I retire, I might come back and play offensive line. I can eat everything in the house and chill and just hold on to guys.
Yeah, common misconception. Common misconception about the offensive line.
I just got to sit there and hold on to guys.
when I retire,
So
I'll
much
come back and play
technique.
online.
So much technique involved with the offensive line.
And you were talking about NIL money.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to know why he went to Nebraska because Army
Sorry,
All-American.
Yep.
You're in that.
Yeah.
Who were your top schools that were recruiting you the heaviest, and who were your top 5-ish?
My top 5, I took 5 visits. So University of Miami, Oregon State, Mississippi State, University of Cal, and then there was one other. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But I actually committed to Mississippi State. My sister went to school there, and there was a guy named John Blake that was there before he left and went to Nebraska with Callahan. So really, John Blake was the one who recruited me and got me to go to Nebraska outside of me knowing it's a great program and rich history and stuff like that. So that was the reason why I went to Nebraska, because of John Blake, and I could play early, and we had a great recruiting class. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be a part of something special to turn that tide, because they had sucked for, since 97. Yeah. So, yeah. For a while, almost 2 decades.
Yeah, they were on life support for a little bit, had a blip. They're coming back now.
Yeah.
Made the first bowl game since 2015.
Yeah.
Boys are back.
Yeah, we're coming.
We're coming. All right, go with the NIL.
You mentioned NIL earlier.
Yeah.
You were somebody that was also a projected first-round draft pick after your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to Nebraska for your senior year.
Yeah.
The talk to the team was like, you sat down with Coach Bo and everybody else, and they talked you into coming back. But was there any, how do I say this, NIL money involved to you coming back your senior year?
Just ask the question. No, there wasn't. But there was a stern conversation with Coach Bo. And Coach Bo, I don't remember. I got a, what was his name? LSU D tackle.
Can you move the mic up a little bit?
Yeah. It's, there you go. LSU D tackle. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Was it Dorsey?
Yeah, Glenn Dorsey.
Yeah,
Glenn Dorsey, LSU D tackle, that was there with Coach Bo when they won the championship. He was like, man, you're better than him. And I think he was a top 5 or top 10 pick. 5. And he was like, if you have the ability to stay one more year, I'm willing to bet you'll be in the top 3. I said, all right, cool. And I was projected, I think like 18 or 19 and to come out or late first round. Let's just say that. And so I said, all right, I'll come back. It sucks. It's 2008. The world's on the dumpster fire, like nothing special. My dad's self-employed. My mom's a teacher, so she's cool and whatnot. But I'd love to come out and obviously be able to change my family from that standpoint. But I think it was one of the best decisions I ever made from that standpoint. And so for me, one more year and I was pretty much done with school. So going into my senior year, I only had one class. I had one class in a lab. So it was like I was already pro. I just had to just chill and do whatever I wanted from that standpoint and play football. So there was no NIL money. I wish there was.
Was it that simple?
I have a hard time believing it.
Coach Bo to compare and you thinking 18 or 19? You know what I mean? It's like 18 and that's back. You were still part of that old CBA. Yeah. But that's still a shitload of money. 18 or 19 in the first round compared to like, all right, I'll come back with another year. You think it's really going to jump up? Yeah. Top 5. Obviously it works out, but it was as simple as a conversation like that to compare you to Glenn Dorsey?
Yeah. It was simple. I mean, like, waiting one more year, and I went and got a Lloyd's in London policy. So, God forbid anything crazy happened. All right, I got my Lloyd's in London policy if I got hurt. And then that
what was your policy?
If I remember, it's like 20 or 25 million.
Mine was 3.